and we are in extreme fear at 24 right now. What's up, everybody? Kevin Cage here with another XRP update. Let's dive in. Okay, we're going to kick things off on the Bitcoin price chart on the weekly, then we're going to dive right into some rapid fire news. You're going to want to stick around for this. So first things first, BTC on the weekly. As we can see, this weekly close is scaring many people out. We're going to see if we can even hold that 30K price point. We did in fact wick down after reaching $65,000 per Bitcoin, all the way down and crashed to about 30,000. And as we can see, back to the daily chart, since this wick on approximately May 19th, we've essentially been in over 60 days of consolidation. This has been painful. This is making a lot of people question their investments. And yes, BTC is king because it controls the entire cryptocurrency market. And sometimes the best way to shake retailers out, retail investors, meaning you and I, is by simply making them wait. Taking Bitcoin back to the monthly chart, we can see 4 consecutive months in a downtrend. 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll have to see where this monthly closes. It will be very telling. There's a variety of looks you can give, so taking it back, Bitcoin on the weekly chart, as we can see, this is an obvious head and shoulders pattern. Left shoulder, big old head, and then back to the right shoulder. So my alerts are set for that 30K price point to see if we can hold this level. And I do also have an alert set right here to see if we actually do get a quick breakthrough and start retracing, catching everybody off guard. So currently, I'm not going to be taking any trades, especially with leverage. I am just waiting and seeing, and yes, it has been a grueling 60 plus days. I'm waiting for decision time to make my next move. And also, guys, just as a quick side note, I hope this helps at least one person out there because that is what this channel is all about. If I did not have the ability to stay hard-headed and optimistic when everybody else capitulates, when everybody else becomes toxic, when the market is fearful, I would not be where I'm at today. This market is designed to make a normal person go crazy and question their sanity. Bitcoin, the leader of the market since its all-time high price, I'm going to say about 65K, even though it was high 64s, we're down roughly 50% from its all-time high price. And this type of move in Bitcoin drags the altcoin market down even more. Some alts are down 70-80%. However, if you study the Bitcoin cycles, you'll go back and realize even in 2013, there were cycles where BTC pulled back not even 50%, but one case where it pulled back 70%. Only to come out and create a new all-time high and retrace harder than ever before. So that's why it's important to keep perspective and when in doubt, zoom out, focus on those little wins and gather momentum. If it was easy, everybody would do it. And so sometimes it's important to zoom out and see how far we've come back, whether that's a few months or in a year's time. And as we can see, this time last year, during June, during July, we were hanging around between 9,000 and 11,000 per Bitcoin. And what does history teach us? Those that hold and have time in this market have always been profitable. Now, first things first, I don't hold any more Bitcoin. I couldn't care less for these returns, even if it went to $100,000. I couldn't care less. I make way more returns in the altcoin market. I'm not worried about that. But I do care about what Bitcoin's price does in the short term because it does largely affect this market. And do I believe that alts will eventually decouple from this market? Yes, to an extent. But right now, our eyes are on BTC. So the question is, are we going to get one more big burst and push and create a new all-time high, even like Blockchain Backer? And of course, you guys know him. Please subscribe. I love his data. I have a different style, but I really appreciate his insight. Or does the bear market begin? We start coming down to each of these moving averages, meaning the 100 moving average on the weekly, along with the 200 moving average. And as you guys already know, the reason people use this 200 moving average on the weekly is because historically, Bitcoin's price has always respected it as the ground floor. So it's very interesting to see that. You can even see this data right here. And yes, it has wicked below, but look where the candle bodies close. It does respect this area as key support. It's continuously been moving up. And right now, Bitcoin's price is hanging around that 50 moving average. And next up, before diving into the XRP price chart, discussing the millions of tokens on the move, I have to mention iTrustCapital. So for anybody that has an existing 401k, an individual retirement account, or would like to start one at a young age to take advantage of some of the platforms that exist today, I have a Roth IRA specifically in cryptocurrency. And the benefit of this is obviously I pay 0% in taxes for all of my gains. And yes, I still have a bunch of XRP on this platform. Links are in the top of this video description to get your first month free, and I highly recommend seeing if this is a fit for you. It's amazing to see all the assets that they've added in the past year alone, and of course, we speculated correctly with them adding algo as well. Very obvious ties, as we know, to Curve. And I don't know about you, but I'm not personally interested in going into the major stock indices or the S&P 500 or the Dow Jones at all-time high. I would much rather take profit and move some of that money into the nascent asset class that has tremendous upside. And as tax rates are continuing to go higher and higher, both short-term and long-term, this is one of those safe havens that I feel is smart for me to take advantage of. And if my money turns into, say, $5 million overnight, it'll be tax-free, and I can still roll that back into a conservative index fund back with Vanguard or Fidelity if I so choose. So at least for the next few years, this is a no-brainer for me. But please keep in mind, guys, this is a fit for me because I'm one of those people that highly believes that the crypto market is here to stay and will continuously see tremendous year-over-year growth. I'm not going to have to deal with 15%, 35%, or even 40% plus capital gains taxes. And of course, I had a Roth IRA since I was a kid as soon as I could have one. And then later on, of course, I rolled it over into another crypto provider, and I'm so happy I came to iTrustCapital because it is saving me so much more. You're not going to find a better platform. But anyways, guys, I have videos on this. Links are in the video description if you want to check out my crypto tutorial playlist to learn more. Nonetheless, I highly recommend exploring this option, at the very least. Okay, so we are back to the XRP price chart. We're going to go over some recent news right after this, along with the millions of XRP on the move that typically precedes large market moves. The question is, which way are we going and will we hold this price point? Notice I do have an alert at 50 cents. We'll see if we double bottom and hold and then finally get that retracement, because we have yet to have a very strong Fibonacci retracement for quite some time. As we can see, 1 drop, 2 drop, maybe even 3 and 4. And we've gone over this on my Instagram. I talk about the 3 and 4 drops many times. So we're going to see if this actually takes place. And is it fun to see the market completely wipe away our gains from the past several months? Some assets are down 80%, BTC is down 50%, and XRP from its recent all-time high is down roughly 70%. No, not at all. 55 cents, we are literally back to where we were back in March. That's not fun. I'm not going to pretend it is. However, in order to keep perspective, to stay optimistic while everybody else is giving up, we do know Flare Networks is going live. We had a massive win within the Ripple lawsuit as well with Hinman in this deposition. There's a lot of things to look forward to, specifically the ODL corridors that are being built as well. So when in doubt, zoom out, keep the faith. If not, you can sell. You're not doing me any favor by holding XRP, and you're not doing me a favor by buying XRP either. Even a huge market buy from the average retail investor will not even make a dent on the XRP 1-minute chart. I'm simply sharing my opinion because I believe that XRP is one of those digital assets that is here to stay and will have exponential upside in the future. And also, for anybody out there that needs some additional perspective, yes, we're at 55, 56 cents today. Well, let's measure where we were at in the beginning of this year when sentiment was so low, even January 1st at 21 cents. Well, cutting that way, we're well over 150% up. That's not bad, considering inflation is at 5%, the average S&P 500 or all these boring index funds offer a 10%, even a 20% annual return wouldn't be worth it to me. Now, I know some of you are going to say, well, Kevin, my average buy-in is not 20 or 30 cents like most people that have been here for the past several years. I'm new. I just got in this market and I bought the top at $1 or $2. Well, I still think you're going to be okay long-term, provided you're investing with money that you don't have to sell tomorrow. I do believe that XRP blasts through these levels and it is just a matter of time. And just so you know, most of us in 2018 when XRP was approaching $3 plus, a lot of us bought XRP on the way up too. So you're not alone. $1, $2. I'm sure I might even have some orders of XRP maybe at $2.20. Of course, you know, the bear market's been a blessing in disguise for many of us, and just like sentiment was so low after this crash with the SEC announcement, and of course, what is it, the winter solstice? So coincidental. It's so weird how many coincidences there are, by the way. We crashed, sentiment was at an all-time low, and what happened? We formed another cup, retraced, and blasted out of here to create a new higher high, at least from the past several years. Do I believe that can happen again? Absolutely. And if you're a bear on XRP short term and you're trying to maximize your buy, I don't have an issue with that. It's just that throughout the years, I've done that so many times, selling at 30 cents, buying back at 20 cents and getting a good 40% or 50% return. I'm not trying to gamble my long-term holdings at this point. I'm very comfortable with my XRP holdings. I make a lot more money with my other alts that I'm trading in order to improve my XRP position. So right now, yes, I'm not buying, I'm not going hard right now because I've already been accumulating for the past several years. I'm waiting to see decision time within this market. This market is either going to offer us a discount or profits. But anyways, let's get into some rapid fire news. As we can see here on crypto news, large XRP transactions are surging. We can see this massive uptick in its whale transactions during the last few days alone, and there have been 2 prominent XRP transfers involving more than 124 million tokens. As we can see, one of the leading addresses moved approximately 84 million coins to an unknown wallet, and the total value at the time was approximately $50 million. Then there was a separate transfer around 40 million XRP worth over 23 million from a crypto wallet to the digital exchange Binance. If you guys are interested to see how you measure up to the XRP rich list, you can go to the website ledger.exposed, and this is created by Mr. Wind or Mr. Vind. And then you can click rich list stats. Now you can see the actual number of accounts that hold a certain balance of XRP and see how you measure up. If you want to see it in terms of percentage, we can click right here by percentage of accounts. And you can see if you own over 2,000 XRP, you are in the top 10% of holders. The top 1% requires about 62,500. The top 0.5% is over 118,000. And to be in the top 0.1%, it requires 500,000 XRP. You can go look at the stats, and every time there is a downtrend within this market, retail sells because retail always loses, and the institutions are slowly growing their amount. So my question is, what do these large accounts know that you do not? Are they simply playing the game, or are they accumulating more XRP than ever before for a reason? But anyways, millions of XRP on the move, some of which went to Binance. Is this essentially just creating selling pressure on XRP to keep it around that 50-cent point? Or is there going to be a big move on the horizon? Next up, shared by Val5 Links on Twitter. Thank you for sending this to me. German bank Comdirect now offers 11 cryptocurrency ETPs in savings plan. So now we have these 11 crypto exchange-traded products that are available to the clients of this German bank. And they're now available on the Comdirect platform at 0 commissions. Assets include Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, Bitcoin Cash, Polkadot, Stellar, Cardano, Solana, and more. This isn't the first ETP for institutional clients of banks, and this will not be the last. I encourage you guys to follow Whale Alert as well. This is at whale_alert. We can see 13,000 Bitcoin is on the move, over $400 million in value. Tons and tons of volatility. Fear is at an all-time high. And we are in extreme fear at 24 right now. Historically, this is going to lead to massive opportunity on the horizon. We have tons of fear in the market regarding Binance news, all the selling and grayscale information out there regarding Bitcoin. And now we have Janet Yellen right here to assemble regulators over stablecoin concerns. Essentially just meeting top regulators for a discussion on stablecoins, specifically Tether. As we can see here, the American Cancer Society is looking to hire a cryptocurrency product supervisor. And yet, during all of this downtrend, although it may be scary, it's not fun to see your portfolio temporarily down. You guys realize this asset class is here and it will recover. You see mint.com. Do you guys use that application to keep track of your finances? They've added crypto assets as well. This is going mainstream. We are literally in the process of it happening, and a process is inherently ongoing. We're witnessing it every single day. Just as a frog has to crouch in order to jump, the market has to come down in order to go up again. I'm one of those psychopaths that stays confident even when things are not going my way, because I know what is yet to come. And I know a lot of people watching this channel feel the same, so do not call us lucky when we last. We have Ripple hiring more in Singapore. No surprise, senior manager business development for central banks. As you can see, they essentially mention XRP 1,000 times in here, discussing related technologies such as central bank digital currency ledgers and the XRP ledger and solutions, developing solutions that use XRP. I guarantee this has to do with some of the amazing privacy features that David Schwartz and Ripple has been discussing. And this company shows no signs of slowing down, and people forget that. They read news at face value and they think XRP goes to 0. I roll my eyes. If you go through the past decade, people have said Bitcoin is going to 0 thousands of times. Did it matter? No. The same thing can be said about XRP. And throughout history, do you know how many times Bitcoin has been pronounced dead by media, on the news, even by CNBC? Hundreds of times. Same thing for XRP. Has it mattered? No, because anybody that bought that narrative has missed out on hundreds of thousands of % gains. So hiring all throughout California still, throughout New York, London, and Singapore. Oh, and even Iceland. Remember those acquisitions as well? In other news, China exploring a e-CNY for cross-border payments. No surprise. In the United States, with this digital Cold War that is occurring, of course, is paying attention to their soft rollout with all of these CBDCs. This is putting pressure on other nations to not only adopt blockchain technology, but to get a central bank digital currency going as soon as possible. And the same thing can be said for XRP. As you can see, more and more Ethereum addresses are buying Ethereum during this dip. Is that a sign that this market is going to zero? No. And I love Ethereum for the record. In the top 10 largest Ethereum addresses hold a huge percentage of the total supply. Congratulations to QNT holders as well. They have surpassed over 20,000 wallet addresses. And yes, I believe this is just the beginning. I remember when we were back at what, 12,000? So great to see. Congratulations and thank you for sharing cryptic knowledge. You have all this drama occurring right now as well. US Fed official calls Tether a challenge to financial stability. There's tons of butting heads in this cryptocurrency space, and this is not the end of it. So we'll see if there's any additional news regarding Tether and also the reserve amounts. Next up, we have shared by CoinDesk with Binance and FATF's travel rule in the headlines. What does BitGo compliance chief Jeff Horowitz think of the current state of crypto regulations? BitGo, very, very interesting. Of course, you guys know its connections in terms of custody. They are massive. And also, back in the day in 2017, they even helped build an enterprise wallet for XRP. Very, very interesting. As you can see, Brian Brooks, now the CEO of Binance US. Guys, I think Binance US will be just fine. Keep in mind, this gentleman just left the position. He was the former acting comptroller of the OCC. He was formerly also the chief legal officer at Coinbase, one of the largest IPOs in history. So you really think that Coinbase and Binance US are not here to stay? These exchanges will both be fine. And he goes on to say, appreciate the shout out from Jeff Horowitz of BitGo. I agree that regulatory compliance is the only way to go. Crypto is not about non-compliance, it is about decentralization, personal empowerment, and freedom. And I like Brian Brooks a lot. Per a lot of interviews and discussions, I've seen him even mention XRP and of course Chris Larsen, and he's spoken very highly of them. And the way his tone was essentially that Ripple, the company, is already going to be one of the guaranteed players that is going to help Swift really speed up these cross-border transactions. But people don't notice that. Also, if any of you are billionaires currently, or even just a few million, this is what our goal should be. Check this out. We have Swedish millionaire Jonah purchased 400,000 acres of the Amazon rainforest from a logging company for $14 million for the sole purpose of its preservation. I wanted to look this guy up, and yep, he is in fact a billionaire, but this is so cool, and this is what money is all about. Of course, you can't pour from an empty cup. Take care of yourself first, pay off debt, then start expanding to your family and friends, and then make a difference. And next up, guys, shared by FTSO.UK. This is one of the Flare Time series Oracle providers or signal providers that I will absolutely be using for passive income. So I will essentially hold my Flare, my Spark tokens when I receive them, and I'll be able to delegate some of that to delegate my vote, and I will get rewarded with Spark by doing nothing, by just holding it, and all of that money stays in my custody. Seems like a no-brainer. So again, making my money work for me as I even wait for these assets to eventually go up in price as well. So right here, Bitcoin gave us self-sovereign wealth, financial freedom back to the people with a peer-to-peer system. Absolutely. Ethereum gave us smart contract or smart programmable money. Foundations for DeFi were rooted then. Decentralized finance. Absolutely. Now we have Flare, aka the Spark token that we all know and love and are getting shortly from Flare Networks, is the bridge for blockchain assets that have no access to dApps, decentralized applications. And as we know, about 65% of that money is inaccessible to be used. So this bridge is going to plug in all of this value and unleash it. And last but not least, guys, we have shared by Ripple. They announced back on June 30th, Ripple's managing director of Europe, a trusted partner delivering crypto-enabled solutions to enterprises. We continue to scale globally with new customers and growing on-demand liquidity traction. I almost said transactions. Traction, excuse me. All good and great. And we have Panos as well. Definite follow. Look what he highlighted right here. Boom. On-demand liquidity. This is growing, guys. I'm not about to leave right before the fun gets started. If you want to, sell a little, maybe a portion of it to try to buy back lower, be my guest. But I am not doing that. That's not financial advice. Could you get a big win? Absolutely. But for me, I have my fiat, I'm stacking my dollars, and if I do see an opportunity, I will attack it. Right here, RippleNet continues to scale in Europe with 250% ODL transaction growth. Love to see it. Ooh, I almost forgot about Lemonway as well. And I'll have to read about these two groups a little bit better. But nonetheless, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to like and sub, and I will catch you in the next one.